Hello and welcome to Nathan's Garage. I'm Nathan Kershaw and this is the Mutt. And Wife-tastic has been toiling away on the Teespring storefront to bring you guys amazing merch like this. So pop over, have a look, see if there's anything you fancy or you want to buy for somebody else. Also, thank you to everybody else for supporting the channel, especially Patreons and people who contribute to the PayPal pool tip jar. If you like the episode, pop on over there and leave me a tip. It really does help the channel tremendously. Okay. What have we got on today? Well, we're going to be putting our little inspection panel for our fuel filler for when the tank goes back in, sealing all this back up. We're going to be seam sealing the underneath of the car, cleaning all the metal, working our way around to the other side, and maybe throwing a bit of primer on as well. Okay, I'm not going to lie, this fuel filler is battering my head a little bit. It's fitted and everything, but access after the fact and also attaching a flexible fuel hose from this to the tank, it's just hasn't quite formed yet. So one thing that I know that I want to do is not have these bolt holes on the outside, so I'm gonna whip it off now, bare metal those and zap them in to the back side of the metal. It'll make this look a lot prettier. So I've bare metalled all the heads, and I've also put it in the actual filler itself so that they're pointing in the right direction, because this is flat, that's ever so slightly curved, so if I weld them into there without being in that, they're all going to be cockeyed and not go in these holes. Oh my god, that's so cool! Oh, that's so cool! Well, if you can't tell, I'm pretty damn happy with that. That's awesome! Excellent. Have to admit, really like this. A lot of wastage, but as a cutting tool, the less mess compared to an angle grinder. Really like it. Jeeves, who's at the door? Is it Tack? No. Tack left 5 minutes ago. Who is it then? It's Whack. Tack and Whack. Sounds like a detective pairing from the competitive show to Miami Vice. Tack and Whack back on the streets. Tack and Whack did not solve the case this time. Pretty good guess. Right, now a decent portion of cleanup, and I find that getting into these corners here and like this corner here, a cutting disc on an angle grinder is better because it just has that fine point that you can just work these edges with, and then a normal flapper for everything else, because this is all hidden. This is all hidden anyway behind the fender. This isn't. Right, prepped with the paint prep of champions, brake cleaner. Let's get some taping done and do that. As you may have seen, painting and paint prep, not really my thing. The next task involves me lying underneath the car, underneath the underseal that I'm gonna wire wheel off. So, with that being said, let's procrastinate a while and put seam sealer on this. Just to give you an idea of where we are, where the gas tank was, one thing I did forget about was this entire BMW catastrophe. So this is like the tears going all the way into here. So what I'm thinking is cutting along here, putting a piece of box in, I think, to square it. Then I think taking all this floor out, probably putting another box in by the side of it into here, because I don't want to really mess about with this spring perch here. And then, yeah, squaring this to here, and then brake fluid, then building a new piece of flat floor from there to this cross member I've made. I think that is going to be, then that side was actually okay. I may just close that. Well, this is the one that was really, really torn up. So the only bits I'm going to be seam sealing are the bits that are going to be staying. Any questionable stuff like this down here, because that's full of Bondo, I'm not going to, because it may be coming off. Oh, a little premature. I'd like to have a rubber glove on, but I don't have any. I know my work gloves are dirty, and I don't want oil in this.
Because this stuff's not particularly cheap, I'm trying to use as thin a skin as I possibly can.
In painting this, I did everything I needed to do apart from press record. Damn it. So it's all bed linered. Lovely. Let that dry for a few minutes before I start to make a ton more dust. That, as I thought, was no fun. But we did it. We got the step done. Let's see how we did. So we have all the torn parts out now. Obviously we have that, but I can weld that to something, that's fine. It's got a beginning and an end that I'm not worried about. And then this, this, gonna cut that little bit out, and then that's gonna go in there, weld the chassis leg to it, and that's thick enough. That'll strengthen this side. Definitely getting to the point where I'm challenging this car to try and tear its diff out. From that to 2 sets of box section going to be going in here, tied into everything else. And welded in there, tied into the back, and then that tear is going to get capped. There will be 0 torn metal in this car. Wife!
Hello.
Hello.
I'm ready for my update. What's going on?
So if you look at the wheel well,
Yeah.
it's all completely sealed now.
Uh-huh.
Everything is like, there was gaps here
Yeah.
at the front,
Yeah.
but that's all done now. So that is, as I say, that's bed liners, so that's protective, like for stone chips and all that kind of stuff. So you won't see that. The fuel filler is now done.
What are you doing?
This is.
I feel like this has gotten really granular instead of
This is
the overview I was hoping for.
No, this is one of my favourite parts of the entire car.
A hole in the car is your favorite.
No.
The gas filler. How neat is that? And like minimalistic. And it's going to be Frenched into
Very.
the fender. The fender will come down here.
It's going to be Frenched.
It's called Frenching. Yes. So that's the filler. That's that done. And then a lot of it you're not going to see because it's all underneath. I'm basically closing in all of the back end.
Cool.
Like if you look here, oh, there actually that you can see here. If you look, you'd have to come here, 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 come here,
Come here.
here.
Okay, I'm here.
It's been a really good day. Yeah, so everything's underneath, and I don't like these days because my neck's already hurting from holding my head up welding. So these are definitely hard days. The lay down on my back, having sparks fall on me days. Apart from that, and Bodie put on another pound. Look at him.
The dog has IBD. Let's just say it out loud for all the people who aren't familiar.
What a fine figured beast.
He is gaining a little weight. We finally worked it out. We're cooking for him twice a day. Venison, sweet potato, and a vitamin I researched that balances it out. So, doing our best.
All right, suppose it's time for a beer soon, isn't it?
Soon, yeah. Hey, how have you done today with keeping the big giant welding hole in your pants out of the picture?
I think I did well until now.
Look how I'm sure I'll have a lot of people on my side. It's awfully close to some important equipment, and I feel you're being cavalier.
I was
that.
really quick. There's some speed still in these hips, you know, for moving, you know.
Yeah, I'm not. Honestly, like if you end up in the hospital because you were stupid, I'm not visiting you. I will only visit you in the hospital if it's something that was out of your control.
But you will, though, because that's not true. Like, I could chop my own leg off and you would come and visit me.
But like maybe a third as much as I would come if it wasn't your fault.
I know.
Don't be dumb.
Because if I chopped my leg off, I'd have a hell of a limp and I'd need more help.
Okay, watchers of Nathan's Garage, I need your help. Can we all convince him to be smarter with whatever he did wrong that created the hole in his pants so close to his junk? Put holes in this junk, not that junk.
That's got plenty of holes in it already. And on that junky note, I shall carry on.
Again, I would definitely like to see this flipping little scallywag pull its diff out again. So that tear's been sorted out. We have the second box section in there now. It's all welded in and sealed. Where are we? There we go. Sealed at the front. So we're all in now. What I'm actually going to do now is going to prime that so it can be drying for seam sealer, and then I don't know what. Yeah, don't know. Right. Oh, I was going to seam seal this tonight, but I've got cracking on the other side with the bed liner, so I think I did it all too quick and it was still wet. So I'm going to leave this overnight and I'm going to seam seal it tomorrow and calm down and not rush it so much. So that's all primed and ready to go. This is all... Oh. The glamorous life of a YouTube influencer. Okay, so there, we primed the front. I've not primed up here, obviously, because I've got to finish this area. That's probably going to be the first thing tomorrow. Really happy with how all this turned out.
What's happening first thing tomorrow?
You
didn't tell me before.
Oh, I'm doing, well, first of all, I'm doing the
Okay, I'm bored.
no, oh, really? The video demo.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to complete the floor in here, and then complete this wheel arch, and then that's the back end done. I ordered a gas hose today. Got to wait for that to come to put the gas tank back in. But it's been a good day.
Excellent.
Yeah, really good day.
Very good. The end of the end, almost. The end of the car.
I don't know about that much.
Just the end of the car, not the end of the story.
The end of this chapter.
Okay.
Right, so yes, that turned out really well, and I challenged this car to tear its diff out ever again in its life. And also, this is kind of nice, just in case I want to upgrade at some point. The diff is going to be plenty strong. So that's it for this one. Thanks again for supporting the channel. Don't forget, you've got merch you can buy, Patreon and PayPal pool tip jar, and liking and subscribing and sharing and all that good stuff. And I shall see you in 2 days. Bye.